So I just had a dream about destiny swapping, and we were in a. So the scene was jail, and it was a ritual that was done in order for protection. Now, before the destiny swapping was introduced into the dream, the ritual itself was being in jail, right? I don't know if this is like spiritual jail or whatever, because men and women were in this jail, okay? So the woman, there was actually like sayings, like they were speaking in different languages. So basically, they would approach a woman and she would have to recite something saying she was in agreement, and what she would have to do was pick a man and basically have sex with him until he was drained. Like, just have sex with him over and 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 over again. Okay? I'm not exactly sure what that detail means, but yes. And this was supposed to, it has something to do with power, okay? And when she was done, she would have to recite something else. So, a destiny swapping was kind of like introduced in that aspect, like after that was shown to me. Now, the way that the destiny swapping, I don't know if that has something to do with like feminine energy and masculine energy, as in like maybe somebody has to, the masculine energy is all about doing. It's the logical, even though the feminine energy is what creates the life. She's the one who actively, that energy is what actively goes out and expresses itself. So I don't know if it was like the structure, like draining the structure of someone else's decisions, draining the structure, like the mindset. I don't know if it had something to do with pulling from the mindset of an individual. I'm not exactly sure what that meant, but they got into destiny swapping and they were showing me like how someone looked after they've been swapped. Okay? I can't exactly remember like what the look was, but or what it was like symbolizing, but it looked like something. Okay? So, I don't know if you come across people and like somehow you notice that they aren't moving the way that they usually move, like they're not acting as themselves, like their true self. They're not operating from their own inner light. If they're not operating in their authenticity, maybe that's what that looks like. But it didn't seem to me as if it was like people destiny swapping with people. It seemed like more of an energy. So what I mean by that is maybe the way that certain people move, maybe the way that certain people operate in their feminine energy can alter how men or the masculine energy structures itself. So I'm actually thinking about, like, you know how Eve was tempted by the snake and she fed the fruit to Adam? So I'm getting that in a sense of like what the feminine energy consumes, what the feminine energy does in her wisdom. I'll say that. What she does with her wisdom can affect the mindset or the state of consciousness of a person. So the way that you okay, it's making sense to me now. So the way that you go about making decisions, how you know yourself to be, right? Again, this is when somebody has been swapped out, when the destiny has been swapped out, they're not acting as their true self. So this is giving me like not operating in the wisdom of, or it's not operating in the oneness conscious. It's kind of operating in one, how do I want to say this? It's giving knowing your identity, knowing who you are, walking in your truth, walking in your authenticity, understanding your authenticity, but the way you go about decision making, the way you go about your everyday life, the way that you move in, like what you do while you be, what you be doing. You get what I'm saying? It's like something within the feminine nature of how you carry yourself alters your mindset, so it shifts how you walk in your truth, walk in your authenticity, to where it can kind of take you out of alignment. So what I'm getting is a lot of us, okay, think that we could be walking in alignment with our true self, but it's kind of like a false sense of identity. It's like a false sense of ego, okay? This is what I'm getting from that with like destiny swapping. I think that's the warfare behind it. Now you can go about it and consumption can be how you look at other individuals and get inspired by other individuals and use that to the knowledge of who you are. Another thing that I was getting is you can't walk in other people's protection. And I'm getting that you can't walk in other people's protection because what you are meant to do is simply meant for you. So if you are inspired by another individual and you start to take on their essence or walk in their essence, you won't get the same protection that they are allotted. Okay? And that's just going back to the ritual that I was getting when it came to being in jail. And the ritual basically with them, the whole initial reason for them coming to a female and telling her to do a certain thing to a man, the offer was protection. If you do this, then we'll protect you. Okay? So yes, that's what I got from that. Just in like what I'm thinking about, how they kind of like, because I was trying to figure out like, what in the world is this? But I think it has more so to do with how you operate. I really do not think that it has anything to do with the power that other people have over you, or it's more so about the power that you give other people. And I mean that in the sense of being so inspired by an individual that you forget who you are. Or being, or seeing someone live the life that they live, that it takes you from experiencing, or distracts you from experiencing the moments you want to experience, because you're so caught up in the movement of another individual and how they're manifesting and creating their life, that it starts to alter the mindset of you, which is the sexual interchange that I was getting from the feminine and masculine energy. It's like, so I remember a friend told me that sexual intercourse is not just about having, well, he said sexual energy exchange is not just about sexual intercourse. When you have a conversation with someone, that's considered sexual energy exchange. So even in the sense of you like, because just think about it. People have friends who feel like they mimic their lives, right? So that literally has nothing to do, well, it has a lot to do with the individual, but it has more so to do with the individual's mindset. Does that make sense? To the point of you having a friend who's seeing what it is that you're doing, and they think, I want the same thing, so I'm gonna go about it this way. I'm gonna take the same steps. I'm going to do what this person is doing. So let's say you are a person who lives in freedom, right? Or you live in, I don't know, you live in joy. And the way that you live in joy is because you got this job that pays you a certain amount, you got kids that fulfill you, and so another individual who's looking at your life wanting to embody the essence of joy goes about it in the same way, thinking that they'll get the same results. Does that make sense? When it comes to like the energy exchange between the masculine and the feminine energy, and it's like the protection that you have, it's that person cannot embody that essence, because or the essence of that protection does not look the same on that individual, because they weren't following their true inner light to how they were supposed to receive the essence of joy. Now, that individual may need to explore different avenues for themselves to live in joy. But going about it the same way that another individual goes about it does not entitle you to the same protection, if that makes sense. Okay. I feel like that's all I'm supposed to say. And yeah, that's all I really got.